Creating an AI character is easy. Creating the same AI character 6 months later? That's hard.
Everyone.
Creating the same AI character across 24 episodes,
Next time,
3 seasons,
we're field
dozens of storylines, and hundreds of generated scenes? That's where most AI projects fall apart. Because the biggest challenge in AI storytelling isn't generating a character, it's keeping them recognizable.
There's something powerful
At first,
about watching
everything looks
children.
fine. You generate a character. You generate another scene. And another.
Okay, so that's communication.
But slowly, things start
Hey,
changing.
Mom, random question.
The face shifts.
Speaking of work,
The
I have to go there
hairstyle
now,
changes.
and with those heated
The
floors,
age becomes
I may never
inconsistent.
Put my shoes back on.
The character starts looking like a cousin
that
of the
makes
original
sense.
instead of the original.
Thank you. I will
And eventually,
definitely consider
you
the
realize you're no
opportunity.
longer telling stories with recurring
I have to
characters.
go to work now. See you
You're
when I
telling
get home.
stories with lookalikes. When most people first start creating AI characters, they assume consistency is a prompt problem. I certainly did. I believed there was some magical combination of words that would solve everything. If I described the character in enough detail, if I included every facial feature, if I specified every possible characteristic, then surely the AI would generate the same person every time. It seemed logical. But that's not how it works. So I started doing what most creators do. I made my prompts longer. Much longer. I described hair color, eye color, face shape, skin tone, height, build, clothing, expression, age, camera angle, lighting, background, everything. My prompts became entire paragraphs, sometimes multiple paragraphs. And while it helped somewhat, it never solved the core problem. Because here's the reality. AI models don't see your character the way you do. They aren't remembering Maya. They aren't remembering Helen. They're generating a statistically similar interpretation based on your description. And every generation introduces variation. Sometimes subtle, sometimes dramatic. Which means consistency isn't really a prompting challenge. It's a reference challenge. The first major breakthrough happened when I stopped trying to generate scenes and started trying to generate a perfect character. Instead of creating a classroom scene, or a graduation scene, or an interview scene, I focused entirely on building a master version of the character, a definitive reference, the version everything else would be built from. This changed my workflow completely. Rather than jumping directly into production, I spent time refining the character, running multiple generations, comparing results, adjusting descriptions, improving details, until I reached a version that felt right. Not perfect, but stable. Something I could build around. I also learned that not all prompt details are equally important. Some characteristics matter a lot. Others barely matter at all. For example, hairstyle tends to be extremely important. Face shape is important. Age range is important. Clothing style can be important. But tiny details often introduce noise rather than consistency. The goal isn't to describe everything.
So like and subscribe.
The goal is to
We got our
identify the
name out
features
there.
that make the
We
character
told our
recognizable.
story. These
Think
are
about how
all
you would
great
describe a
ideas.
character from a television
Whatever
show.
we do, let's
You wouldn't start with their exact eyebrow shape. You'd describe the features people actually remember. Once I had a strong character, I generated clean reference images. This turned out to be one of the most important steps in the entire process. I wanted images that clearly showed the character. Front view, three-quarter view, full body, neutral expression, consistent lighting, minimal distractions. Almost like creating a professional casting portfolio. These images became my source of truth.
Helen's
At that point, I finally had something valuable.
The day.
Not just a prompt,
The river rocks will go
but an
right
actual
there,
character
and
reference
the wood
system.
chip will go over
And
there.
that's when consistency started becoming
Grab a
achievable.
shovel.
The next major breakthrough came from Nano Banana, and honestly, it fundamentally changed how I approach AI characters. Before reference-based workflows, every generation was essentially starting from scratch. You were asking the model to recreate a character from memory, except the model didn't actually have memory. It only had your prompt, and prompts are imperfect. Reference images changed everything, because now I wasn't asking the AI to imagine Maya. I was showing it Maya. I wasn't describing Helen. I was providing Helen. And that's a massive difference. This is when I stopped thinking about generating characters and started thinking about placing characters. Instead of creating a new person every time, I was taking an existing character and placing them into new situations, new environments, new storylines, new episodes. The character remained stable. The scene changed. And that shift made consistency dramatically easier. One topic that comes up frequently when discussing character consistency involves child characters. And this is particularly relevant because Barefoot Adventures takes place in a preschool environment. Modern AI video systems are understandably cautious when generating realistic videos involving minors. Depending on the context, composition, and prompt structure, certain requests may be restricted. Creators working with family-oriented stories eventually encounter these limitations, and understanding them becomes part of the workflow.
All right, whatever. Let's try
What I
it
learned
their
is
way.
that successful AI storytelling often requires adapting to the tools. Instead
Hey
of fighting
guys,
restrictions,
this works
you
much
redesign
better.
scenes.
Pass me the ball.
You focus on wider compositions. You build stories around adult characters. You use children as part of the environment rather than the primary focus. In many cases, this actually improved the storytelling, because the emotional center of Barefoot Adventures was always the staff,
We used to just
teachers,
work here. Now we
the
are
relationships,
tour guides too.
the people guiding the experience.
Instinctual creatures
After
are
all of the
difficult
prompts,
to contain.
all of the
They
workflows,
seek expansion.
all of the technical experimentation, I eventually realized something. The most important part of consistency wasn't visual. It was emotional. Think about your favorite television characters. You don't remember every facial detail. You remember who they are. You remember how they behave.
Having a blast.
You remember their personality, their humor, their flaws,
That's when the waiter brought the wrong
their
plate.
relationships. Maya isn't Maya because of a specific hairstyle. Helen isn't Helen
Well, great
because of
to
a
see
specific
you.
shirt.
How was your day?
They're recognizable because they react consistently,
Dinner will be ready in
because
about
their
30
personalities
minutes.
remain stable,
Sounds good.
because their motivations make sense, because
So,
they feel
how's
like
the
real
new job
people,
treating ya?
It's
and
good.
audiences are
Busy,
surprisingly forgiving.
busy, but it fits me.
If a character's appearance shifts slightly from episode to episode,
And
most viewers
what's
won't
with this
notice.
barefoot thing? You running
But
a
if the
daycare
personality
or a
changes,
yoga class?
if the character suddenly
Kids
feels
lose
different,
shoes, trip over them,
viewers
or
notice
fight about 'em.
immediately,
Barefoot.
because emotional
Problem
consistency
solved.
is what creates
Simple as that.
attachment,
Huh.
not
Never
pixel-perfect
thought of it
visuals.
that way. Hmm.
Looking back across 3 seasons of Barefoot Adventures, I no longer think character consistency is primarily a prompting problem. It's a systems problem. It's a workflow problem. It's a planning problem. And ultimately, it's a storytelling problem.
Now too?
The creators who succeed with
That's
AI
different,
characters won't necessarily be the best prompt engineers. They'll be the creators who build repeatable systems, who create strong references, who understand their characters,
I actually thought she
and who
had
focus
gone
on telling
crazy.
stories worth following. The tools will improve. The models will improve. The technology will keep changing. But audiences will always connect with characters. And the creators who learn how to build those characters consistently will have a huge advantage in the next generation of AI storytelling. Because at the end of the day, we aren't generating images. We're building worlds. And every world starts with characters people remember.